Pablo Escobar was the ruthless leader of the Medellin cartel from the early 1980s till his death in 1993. Many people like to glorify him due to the amount of money he generated, the height of his cartel giving him a net worth of $40 billion and owning 80% of the drug trade through the United States at that time. He had thousands working for him, had more wealth than knowing what to do with, built houses for the poor and gave them food, donated to many charities, and lived in a massive, luxurious mansion while still tending to his family. However, the time of Pablo Escobar was dangerous and scary. He ordered thousands to be killed, ranging from hundreds of police officers to bombing planes that had civilians just to kill some political officials, to assassinating presidential candidates. He let nothing stop in his way, and it was a scary and depressing time for those who lived there. He also almost led Colombia to the brink of collapse. Although there are many films out there and shows about Pablo Escobar, including the hit TV show Narcos, there are only a couple films that really show who he was. Two of these films are The Sins of My Father and The Private Archives of Pablo Escobar. The Sins of My Father is a film that his son, Juan Pablo, now named Sebastian Marroquin, made because he did not feel that other films and shows accurately portrayed what his father was like, including The Private Archives of Pablo Escobar, show him in a very light way. However, in Sins of My Father, Sebastian Marroquin is very real about what his father was like. The Sins of My Father does show how he was a great dad and a great family man, but it also goes into the depths of how he was a murderer and how he ordered almost 4,000 people to be killed. In The Sins of My Father, they take interviews not only from him and Pablo Escobar's mother, but from the sons of Pablo Escobar's most prominent victims. This helps to give a more unbiased view because it shows of people who were affected by the murders, as well as people who saw him as a great father. The movie The Sins of My Father more accurately portrayed him. Many people don't realize how violent Escobar was, and this truly showed how it impacted other people. It also used many interviews with people involved, real evidence, and pictures. It was very accurate, and the only people that talked in it were people who were a part of what happened in one way or another. Whereas The Private Archives of Pablo Escobar showed him in too light of a view. They really emphasized his role as a family member and a leader more than it did as a murderer. So it gave a different perspective of him that was a lot cleaner and nicer because it was more about his private life than the crime. The overall message of The Sins of My Father is to never have violence like this again. Pablo Escobar's son, Sebastian Marroquin, vows to break the cycle of revenge and assassination by attempting to reconcile with the sons of Escobar's most prominent victims. This is shown in a letter that Sebastian wrote to the other sons.
Sea el camino o la excusa para nadie. Sencillamente no concibo la idea de que venimos a este planeta a hacernos daño. Creo que hay razones más nobles para vivir y disfrutar de la vida. Comprendo que nací en un ambiente fértil para la violencia, pero el legado de nacer en un ambiente tan hostil no podría ser otro distinto al de la búsqueda de la paz. No quiero repetir la historia. Mi padre, con su violencia, obligó a muchas familias a exiliarse, principalmente a las suyas, ignorando que con ellos estaba también gestando subrepticiamente el exilio de sus seres más queridos. Los invito a liberarnos de toda atadura que nos frene a la hora de exteriorizar lo que reside en nuestros corazones, de poder hablar y poder escuchar, de comprender que si seguimos embarcados en este tobogán de odios, no habrá porvenir para nosotros ni para el país. Respetuosamente, Sebastián Marroquín.
The overall message of The Private Archives of Pablo Escobar is to just show that he was a real person. His purpose just seemed to be to look into someone who did something that a lot of people find cool and see why he did this, what his background was like. No one else has ever accomplished what he did, so it's fascinating for people to see that. This documentary is more for entertainment than emotions and regret, like in The Sins of My Father.